Have you ever wondered how the Israel-Palestine conflict, one of the longest-standing issues in world history, began? Let's take a step back to the late 19th and early 20th century. A movement was stirring. Zionism, a nationalist movement of Jews yearning for a homeland, was gaining momentum. This desire was fueled by centuries of persecution and the dream of a sovereign state in their ancestral homeland, Palestine. Fast forward to 1917, amid the chaos of World War I, the British government issued the Balfour Declaration. This document expressed Britain's support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Post-war, the League of Nations entrusted Britain with the mandate for Palestine. This mandate, however, did little to ease the growing tensions between the Jewish immigrants and the Arab Palestinians. And so, as World War II ended, the stage was set for a conflict that would shape the Middle East for decades to come. In the ashes of the Holocaust, the world witnessed the birth of a new nation. With World War II concluded and the horrific images of the Holocaust still fresh in the minds of the world, the plight of Jewish survivors took center stage. Many sought refuge in Palestine, a land they considered their ancestral home. However, this migration sparked tensions with the Arab population already residing there. Recognizing this brewing conflict, the United Nations proposed a partition plan in 1947, aiming to divide Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. However, the Arab nations vehemently opposed this division. Undeterred, the Jewish community declared the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. This declaration was not met without resistance. Almost immediately, neighboring Arab countries launched an attack, marking the beginning of the First Arab-Israeli War. Despite the war's end in 1949, this was far from the last armed conflict in the region. Throughout the latter half of the 20th century, the Israel-Palestine conflict only intensified. A series of seismic events marked this period, beginning with the Six-Day War in 1967. This swift and decisive conflict saw Israel capture the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, and Golan Heights, dramatically shifting the geopolitical landscape. 6 years later, the Yom Kippur War of 1973 erupted. Initiated by an Arab coalition led by Egypt and Syria, this war saw initial gains for the Arab states, but ultimately ended in a military stalemate. The late 20th century also witnessed the eruption of two intifadas, or uprisings, by Palestinians against Israeli occupation. The first began in 1987 and the second in 2000, both marked by widespread protests, violent confrontations, and significant loss of life. Amidst these turbulent times, a glimmer of hope appeared in the form of the Oslo Accords in 1993. This was a set of agreements between the government of Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization. The accords marked the first time that the State of Israel officially recognized the PLO as the representative of the Palestinian people and vice versa. They aimed to pave the way towards a peaceful two-state solution. Despite these attempts at peace, the conflict persisted into the 21st century, a testament to the deep-seated and complex nature of the Israel-Palestine issue. In the present day, the Israel-Palestine issue remains a complex and contentious topic. The last decade has seen a series of significant events that have further complicated the situation. The Gaza War of 2014 stands out as a stark example. This 50-day conflict resulted in heartbreaking loss of life and infrastructure damage on both sides. However, it is not an isolated incident. As recently as 2021, the Gaza conflict again ignited, underscoring the fragility of peace in the region. The issue of settlements continues to be a major stumbling block. The construction of Israeli settlements in the West Bank is viewed by many as a violation of international law, inflaming tensions. Jerusalem, a city sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike, remains a bone of contention. The status of Jerusalem, particularly the Old City with its sacred sites, is a deeply sensitive issue. Different perspectives abound in this conflict. Some call for a two-state solution, envisioning an independent Palestine living side by side with Israel. Others, however, reject this notion, advocating for a single state. As we navigate these perspectives, it's crucial to remember that the Israel-Palestine issue is not just about land or politics. It's about people, their histories, their cultures, and their futures. As we seek to understand the current situation, we must remember the long and fraught history that has led us here. Looking back, we witness a century-long struggle marked by wars, uprisings, and attempts at peace. From the origins of the conflict rooted in territorial and nationalistic disputes, to the establishment of Israel, a nation built amidst controversy. We've traversed through the major wars and intifadas, each leaving indelible marks on the region. We've also grappled with the current state of the issue, a complex web of unresolved tensions. While the path to resolution remains uncertain, the importance of understanding this history cannot be overstated.